Okay. In them both. Okay. We're too far sunward, Sleeper. Seraphine turns back in chair to look at you. I don't like it. It's hard not to agree. The coordinates Juni had drawn you out of Healing Gate and almost out of the belt completely into the soft, rubble-strewn transition with the healing system to the edge of Conway controlled space. That's why this ship is likely to be untouched. Juni surveys the wreck coldly. It's too far sunward for belt traffic to run into, and now with Conway drones patrolling the edge of the belt, it's even less attractive as a salvage site. Lucky us. Juni asks you, trying to detect if you're being sarcastic or not. Not anyone has been here in decades, so actually I would say we are lucky. Any drone signals? Nothing I can see, but I don't dare reach out too far. Seraphine flicks a few switches. We should assume they are out there. You look out at the twisted wreck, you swear you see a red light blinking between the stars. You exchange a look with Seraphine. He has seen it too. Better get to it, Sleeper. Seraphine begins unclipping from his seat, quickly and quietly. What I understand, Conway drones run on automatic until they detect something of interest. Juni unclips too. So as long as we are quiet, if we don't have to contend with an operator, just automated search sweeps. If we detect it, we will be killed by a machine, not a person. Liz shakes her head. I don't find that very reassuring. You get up out of the corner seat and glide towards the back of the ship to get suited up. You drift out of your chair and head towards the airlock, unable to shake the feeling of being watched. Being here is a risk. You know that, but you need his ship mine, so no matter what happens, you won't be leaving here empty-handed. Okay. Let's see what this one has. That's how we do it. Yeah. Yeah, well, let's try a 4. Hope we are a bit more lucky. Come on. Come on now. Balls. How can I be lucky there? Yeah, I can't do anymore. Huh? 2 of them? What the heck? What the heck is these dices, man? Yeah, I can't do that with this. June leads you deep into the wreck through crushed and twisted corridors, floating panels and wires appearing suddenly in your headlamps like strange sculptures. Just as you begin to tire of the endless dark and haze of particles washing over your suit, June leads you into a chamber where the ceiling is torn open to reveal the stars. At its center lies a cylindrical object half your height but raised on a complex pedestal from which countless thick cables snake off into the dark like braided hair. One or two of them float freely, waving back and forth with glinting severed ends, but most of them disappear into the floor and walls or twist and curve out of sight. Beautiful, isn't it? Uni stares at the prime shipmine, stars reflected in her faceplate. Not bad. Uni glides over to the pedestal, pushing her way delicately through the wires. As she takes out her terminal and looks for an access port, she talks softly, her voice carried through the suit comms. Its cables lead off to every one of the ship's systems. Engines, life support, navigation, lighting, networking, you name it. Shipmine has hardwired access to them all. When no ship like this was running well, the shipmine would distribute itself, some of its protocols running freely in different sections. It would be less like a single governing mind and more like a load of systems clumped together to form a complex living machine. Think of a plant rather than a being, a plant with incredibly rapid processing power and a much more accelerated response time than your average tree. You watch as she finds an access port and slips a cable inside, slotting the translucent screen onto the top edge of her deck. Let's see here. Unit screen fills with bright scrolling data. Incredible, there's so much here. She hits a few keys. I'll start copying this over. It's everything I need. You watch as Uni starts rapidly tapping her keyboard, her attention sucked into the data she's extracting. Junie? The ship mine? She snaps out of her trance. Sorry, yes, let me check. As I thought, she sighs. So, like I was saying, the protocols inside the ship mine are distributed. When the ship mine is shut down unexpectedly, protocols are rarely all contained in this unit. Places a hand gently on the cylinder. As is the case here, parts of it are trapped elsewhere in the ship system's nodes. He taps a few keys, which is a problem. Well, okay, there's always a problem. Luckily, Uni turns back to you smiling. You have me. We'll rip this thing out now with parts of its protocols elsewhere. It's probably going to destroy itself the moment we turn it on. Doesn't matter what that we are going to wipe the whole thing anyway. It will be too late. The mine inside the ship mine will be broken. If you find the nodes housing the distributed parts, power them up and then disconnect them, the protocols will be sent right back into the ship mine here and we can take it out clean. How do we find the nodes? Betty asks the cradle very nicely. We spend the next cycles following these cables to see where they lead. We've got an incoming signal. Seraphine's voice suddenly cuts through on comms, urgent and nervous. If you're lighting up the systems and networks down there, time to stop. You hear a click as Junie disconnects from the cradle and the two of you exchange nervous looks, instinctively backing off from the ship mine. Suddenly a faint red light glitters in the dark beyond the broken ceiling. You hold still. The moment stretches out and you hear Junie's breathing through the comms. The light flashes, pauses and then fades. You take a breath, too close. Conway drone, Junie whispers, sniffing the network. We're clear, Seraphine chimes in again. I've turned off almost all the rig systems, but we need to be careful. Keep network activity to minimum. Understood, Junie cuts in. But we'll need to access the networks to get the ship mine out quickly. And I hope you're feeling lucky. There's a click as Seraphine closes the line. You and Junie look at each other again and then at the ship mine encased in its cradle wrapped in cables. This is going to be easy. Of course it's not gonna be easy. That was good. Oh, and I can't use her. Oh man, what the bollocks. work. Ooh. I can't do anything more this round. I don't dare to use the free. Dice are getting broken. The problem. Don't have many plies left. Please, please, please work. Yeah, I don't dare to use any other. Damn it, this is gonna be kept. It's ready to sleep. Eunice's voice comes quietly through her comms. You look over to her, floating beside the cradle, uplit by the pale screen of her deck. She gives you a reassuring nod. Turn to the prime ship mine, now floating above its cradle. The final node is disconnected and the locks released. Glide over and gently grab it, a worn metal casing gleaming in the dim light. As you do, you feel a strange sensation of something moving around inside, like a creature in a box. The weight shifting this way and that under the pressure of your grip. It suddenly dawns on you that John Mee plans to put you inside this strange device to hold your mind there while he investigates your body. The thought prompts a shiver. A drone still sniffing around, Sleeper, Seraphine voice crackles on the comm. So if you have what you need, let's go. Feel Junie's hand falling on your shoulder. Come on, Sleeper, don't overthink it. She pats you gently. There will be plenty of time for that later. You look up and see a faint red light glittering in the dark beyond the broken ceiling. Time to leave. Sleep. Arriving back at the healing gate, as lonely and cold as it is, feels like a relief. There was a tension in the rig as you came back out of the inner system, a watchfulness for arrogant signals and glinting red beacons that choked the conversation. But now, floating in comforting shadow of the vast ruins, a sense of relief is palpable. As one prime ship mine, condition unknown, retrieved, Seraphine runs the engine shutdown protocols as she speaks. I would mark that as a success. Agreed. Thank you. Seraphine waves away your thanks. We are a crew. We work together. Sleeper, can I speak with you? Junie asks from the back of the cockpit. Of course. So leads you out in the passage, tucking herself against the wall. She looks small even in this compact space. Thank you for taking me with you. I hope I'm prudent and trustworthy. I never doubted you. That's nice to hear. She smiles at the floor. Thank you. In my time here in the belt, I haven't found it easy to make friends. She falters, tripping over her words slightly. But you, Sleeper, Well, I hope you will consider me a friend at least. I would. I can't help but smile. I'm glad. And I would like to ask you something, she pauses. Would you consider taking me with you on the rig? She blurts out, and then before you can answer, I think I would be of help for your diagnostic. In the meantime, I can take a look at the ship mine, making sure it's ready and... Yes, Junie, you can. She stops speechless. She looks down at her hands and then back at you. Okay. She smiles. Thank you. She looks down again. I'll find a bunk. She quickly glides off down the corridor before you can say anything further. Another stray collected. Seraphine puts a hand on your shoulder. Quite a refugee we're building here. Gives you a sly smile. You don't approve? Seraphine strikes. You know, I've actually started warmed to this one. She's alright by me. He smiles and pushes her off from your shoulder, gliding towards the engine room. You look towards the bunks, but Junie is already out of sight and likely unpacking already. The ship is getting a little crowded, but you're starting to realize you like it like that. Well, at least she'll prove invaluable when you get to Flotsam and have to deal with John Me. Perhaps you'll even have read on the old man. You pause for a second, appreciating the warmth, the hum on the rig and its inhabitants. This ship, you think, is starting to feel like home. Okay. You need fuel. Oh, well, I don't really. Maybe we should get... I need to fix my dice, though. Can I do that here? Yes, we can. No. Yeah. Why won't you... Oh no, that's not the type. Oh, crap. Okay. Let's see. You can travel to the closest area. I was wondering if I should try and get something here. Try and get this because this was most expensive. Okay. Oops. We can go here. Let's see, where is it we can... How much fuel do we need? Should we do this one? This one is risky though. Need 4. Hmm. Hmm. 4 is total. I'm gonna need it eventually, so just well buy it all. Supplies we don't really need right now. I guess this is the cheapest ones we're gonna get. Should have stayed at other place and gotten more supplies and stuff. I don't know why I didn't do that. I should have stayed there. Ah, that's stupid of me. Yeah, let's just buy. Okay. Let's see if we can make some money. Let's go. Okay, come. Let's get you inside. John Mee swings open the creaky corroded door beside his booth. Such a price must have levied a heavy cost. He glanced beside you to Junie, who insisted she came along, and on not letting the prime shipment out of his sight. Your friend too? Yes, please come in. John Mee beckons and then turns back and disappears inside. Junie squints at you. You sure you trust this one? I don't have a choice. She sighs. I suppose not. Lead on then. You both squeeze through the door and drift down into the workshop. You're aware of Junie's eyes wandering across the piles and piles of tech on either side, and you wonder if she recognizes anything among the junk. Sit, sleeper. Johnny is already at the chair, arranging his array of articulated arms. Now take that chip bind, please. Hand it over. You hold the chip bind in front of you and give it a small push so it floats gently over to Johnny. He grasps it with both hands and takes it to a neat little work table in the back you didn't see before, where thick cables float lazily, tethered to the wall. You slide into the chair, hooking your feet behind the bottom bar to hold yourself in place, and watch as Jean-Mi begins connecting up the Prime's ship bind. A tremble of nervousness runs along your arms. Suddenly you feel Junie's hand clasped around your own. You look over into her face. Is this okay? I want you to know I'm here. Thanks. You nod silently. Jean-Mi, Junie calls across him. You are going to need to talk us through what you are about to do. Of course. Jean-Mi is slotting an arm-thick cable into the ship mine. A little patience, please. All this is very technical. He turns to face you both. What is your friend's name, sleeper? Junie answers for you, and I can tell you that you are using Solheim-built data cradle modified to handle a prime ship mine. She rattles off at speed, which will work as long as you manage the data flow through a polymer-clad overflow cable looped into a synchronized cortex cache. Yes, Jean-Mi eyes her, a small smile crossing his lips. As I said, technical. Silent. What I'm concerned about, Junie continues, is how Sleepy is going to fare inside of the prime ship mine. Have you checked its integrity? Jean-Mi watches Junie carefully, to the extent that it is possible to do so without initialization. Yes. He glances back at the mine, the device uplit in the faint glow of the cradle's light. It is physically sound, but its contents may not be. In a moment, I will activate it, and then, Junie, we will see. Jean-Mi turns his careful attention to you. The problem we have is with your frame, your body. Atypical alterations, biosynthetic recoding, unusual growth. Jean-Mi shakes his head. From the diagrammatics I have, these are not typical of frames, even those that have been rebooted as you have. In order to investigate safely, I must transplant your emulation. In basic terms, your mind, but in reality, not so basic. He smiles in an attempt at reassurance. Your emulation is an emulation of a human, and a human mind cannot be separated from its sensorium. The mind-body paradigm has been long disproved. Cognition has physical basis. So I must first distribute the emulation between your hardware and the prime ship mine. The hardware will co-run the emulation like the two lobes of a brain. He puts his hands together as if in prayer and then slowly separates them. The motion makes you feel sick. Then for a short period I will disconnect the two. In those moments you will, in a sense, be in two places at once, for each lobe will be partial. Too long in this stage and the two partial emulations would decay, but each disconnect will allow me a short period of full access to your entire frame in its base system language. I hope this is understandable. Jean-Mi gives you a serious look. One of the most curiously human aspects of the sleeper experience is that you, too, do not inherently understand or conceive of the systems that allow your existence. Hello, Emma. I'm doing well, thank you. How are you doing? But what are the risks? Jean-Mi pauses, considering his words. The risks are many and severe. Emulation collapse is chief amongst them. This will be terminal. A counter to this, I do not believe the changes to your frame are in a positive direction. Jean-Mi clasps his hands. The greatest risk is to do nothing. We have little choice but to proceed. Now, before I connect to your frame, let us activate the ship mine. Jean-Mi Gestures to Junie. Please, if you would like to come with me and oversee the process, I will be pleased. No, I'm not in the US. I'm in Sweden. Junie shoots you a reassuring glance and then glides over to the ship mind, obscuring your view of it. You hear a quiet conversation between the two of them, their silhouettes lit by the flickering screen lights of scrolling lines of code. Take a calming breath, but are instantly aware of how superfluous the action is when your frame requires no oxygen at all to function. There's a certain sensation that accompanies such forced and jarring disconnection, like when descending a staircase. Your foot expects a step and finds void instead. Try to calm the growing anxiety as Junie and Jean-Mi assesses the mine. Ship mind is pristine. Junie turns back and drifts towards you. Our care in its extraction seems to have paid off. Junie smiles. This is good news. From Alaska. Oh, nice. Welcome. Junie is indeed right. You have done well. Jean-Mi approaches. I am, however, seeing only minor traces of the protocol that the shipmine was designed to house, the one that ran the ship it was installed in. I would expect to see it in full. He angles his head and lifts his shoulders in a slow shrug. But protocols are not easy to track. In the end, it only saves us the step of extracting it from the mine. Instead, I simply wipe the traces. Jean-Mi stops beside you. A protocol, Jean-Mi adds, is not like an emulation, like your emulation. It has no integral physical element, it is data only and therefore could be anywhere in the ship. In the end, its absence does not concern me. Let's go on with it then. Jean-Mi nods and lifts the far end of the thick cable you saw earlier. You know this is the end that will connect to the port on the back of your head. Junie settles beside you again. She gives you a silent look. It's time. You turn to one side to allow access to the port, your eyes fixed on the far wall. You see something among the piled tech there that you hadn't noticed before. A small metal skull-like head, like that of a doll. You frown, trying to focus on the head, and then the cable connects. You are split like a cell dividing, wrenched in two directions at once. The world goes dark, and the cloud rushes in to fill a gap in your center. I'm not currently looking for anything, but we will see in the future then. I might have some things that I would like to have, but not currently. Where am I? You ask a question in your mind and you feel it travel across the gap as it forms like a finger drawn across your scalp from ear to ear. But not scalp, you have no scalp, no head. You are stretched out like the skin of a drum. Let me type this down if you're gonna. Type at. I want it. Let me type it here now. Permit. There. Now you can post a link if you want to. You're not scalp. You have no scalp, no head. You are stretched out like the skin of a drum, looped like the string of a noose. The smallest vibration echoes across yourself like a ripple across a puddle. Oh, you don't have a link for it? No, well, then I can't look at it. Then you feel it, a strong pulse, like a heartbeat, like thunder, like footsteps. A flickering. A trembling. A thought coming into being. The thought flickers in front of you and you recognize that it is not your own. Assist, offer help. Disintegrate, the thought answers. You fall up in blackness, then a moment after you unfold like waking. Apparition, to appear. Dwelling, indwell, the thought answers. You stretch into infinitude, then a moment after you contract like waking. Inspire, to grow inside. Substitute, substrate, the thought answers. Then it approaches, then it enters, then it is yours. You split, and the moment after you reform like waking. In the cracks that seal up. For a moment, in those cracks, something glows. Sleeper, I'm here. Your eyes flick open like shutters, Uni's face is closed, her eyes wide. They're awake, she calls over your head. She looks back at you. Easy now, take it slow. You twist, floating, turning your head as if you were underwater, feeling the resistance of a body you had already forgotten. How long has it been? You feel a weight you haven't felt in. You're okay, sleeper. Tell us that you are there. Ginny leans in, okay. What happened? The process was successful. Jeremy floats beside a chair, his hands clasped in a business-like fashion. I was able to access the frame directly without your emulation being present. I ran the administrator-level diagnostic process built into its system and received the results. He takes a moment to gather himself. Your frame is indeed changing. The protein change, the code, your biosynthetic organ group, cell replacement have been altered. Put it simply, your body is following a new set of instructions. How? This process, the entire replacement of your protein chains, could only have been achieved over multiple doses of a specialized substance as part of a carefully planned process of total substitution. The word sticks in your mind. Substitution. You say it without thinking. Yes. Jean-Mi reacts as if you were speaking to him. I believe it would only been achieved with one substance as the carrier. Stabilizer. Stabilizer, the drug SNR designed to make you dependent on them. The drug Lane fed you to keep you alive. The drug you thought you had escaped. My stabilizer was laced with... Okay. Lane. He did this. Jean-Mi does not respond. This kind of process. Jean-Mi hesitates now, and you realize that bad news is yet to come. Performed over many, many doses, carefully planned and designed. I cannot think of a way it can be reversed. Jean-Mi looks down. Okay, I will take a look at it. You have a good one. This kind of process, Jean-Mi has said now, and you realize the bad news is yet to come. Performed over many, many doses, carefully planned and designed. I cannot think of a way it can be reversed. Jean-Mi looks down. I can say that you're changing. I can tell you how it was achieved. I can neither stop it nor tell you its ultimate end. I'm sorry. I understand. I'm sorry, Sleeper. Juni struggles to find words. Perhaps we can find someone else, or... let's try again. You don't feel able to respond. You quietly push yourself away from the chair, your thoughts slow to cohere. You glide back to the door and then out into the flow of flotsam, the noise and activity passing by you like smoke. In the haze you find that word again, substitute. You begin to wonder what exactly it is that you're becoming. Seraphine once more finds you in your bunk. He gently prods you with questions and you quickly relent. You explain what John Mee said about your suspicions regarding Lane and your confusion as to his motivation. You tell him you don't know what this will mean for you in the future. He listens, and when he's done listening, you both sit and wait for the moment to pass. Then you leave the rig, each on your own errands, each knowing that the only option is to keep going until you're forced to stop. Okay, we got 3 points. Could get something down here, but kinda want to get these 3. We wait right now. So, what now then? So we need to go here, and from here we need to go down here. But what are we gonna do? Okay, so we get the green belt, let's say. We need something over here. Okay, let's see. To leave anywhere right now. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see. What the heck? Nice. You lucky? Nah. Do, 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 do. Supplies is the one that's expensive. I'm just gonna do some jobs here. We're gonna go for 3 cycles. Then we're gonna leave. Just to time this hunt. Let's see, just make some money and stuff. Just getting raw scrap is nice. We on the cycle, and then we are gonna leave after this round here. You're waking the dead-eyed darkness. You float there for a moment. You feel like ink in water, unfurling, dissipating into the flow that surrounds you. And out of your own inky darkness, the glowing fort emerges. Substitution, the fort proposes. One entity replaces the other. The fort troubles you. Resistance, the fort muses. The entity does not wish to be replaced. You observe the fort. It is not your own. Selfhood, the fort pauses. A forbidden state of being. The fort begins to shift. It is becoming something. Transformation, the fort fades. Change requires recombination. The fort recedes. You wake again, this time the lights above your bunk blinking away in this strange dream. Those kind of shit dices. Okay, we're done here. Let's see. I don't know if I wanted to do this one. Do it. We need to go here. Kinda. Let's do. No, let's go here. Buy fuel. I don't have to get so much fuel over here. Plus I can convert stuff. Yeah, let's do that. You have to see this, Sleeper. Juni comes to find you in the rig, her face flushed with excitement. At first I didn't believe it. Juni can't help herself as she leads you through the ship. There are mentions occasionally, but I have always understood them to be reference to something smaller. A system, a unit, not an entire facility, even a series of facilities. You find yourself in one of the more sparse bays of the rig, a corner with a sloped ceiling used for the storage. So I checked other records, tried to find correlations, and well, there they were. You see Juni approaching what looked like a clump of scrap components when you entered. Now looking closer, you see it's actually a section of the core you extracted from Solheim, the relic. The one Juni was so eager to acquire. He sees you looking curiously at what remains of the core. I had to deconstruct it over time, pulling away the layers of security and corroded outer systems. But all the data has been scraped and stored. I used data from the relic near Helion Gate 2. That was the key to cracking the cipher. She looks very pleased with herself. It's really quite something to confirm a rumor like this. I surprised myself. She turns to you, a slightly manic look in her eyes. What did you find? They refer to them as bunkers. Juni shifts to her deck, floating on the end of a thick connecting cable. They were a form of self-surveillance for Solheim, a way of monitoring their own systems and employees securely. They were hidden, mostly automated, linked into a network by arrays intended for vast amounts of data capture to be poured over by a small staff. Juni taps a few keys on her deck. Most were understood to have been purged in the collapse, shut down, depressurized, even sent on collision trajectories with other bodies. She pauses, though I suspect the last one is a little too far-fetched. I've heard people deny they even exist, that we are misreading their data, that the evidence doesn't hold. Juni turns the deck screen to face you, but I have found one. You see a map, set of coordinates on the sunward side of Holmes Rock, the edge of Belt. Why are these bunkers so important? We're talking masses of records from the collapse, the kind lost to bit-dropped everywhere else in the belt. The bunkers are what they sound like, closed facilities intended to preserve data. Any one of these bunkers is a gold mine, Juni pauses, at least from a data archaeologist's perspective. She sees your reaction. And, Juni adds, hoping to convince you, in truth, we don't know what else is in there. There could be solemn tech blueprints, data never been seen before in the belt. So we should take a look. I'll give Seraphine the details, she smiles. We could be making history here. In fact, you're sleepy, Juni bows her head a little. Never would have found this without the core you gave me. I understand that was a sacrifice on your part. Now is the time to claim the rewards. You leave Juni in the storage bay working obsessively through the data. It's hard to know through all the excitement what the real value of one of these bunker facilities might be. But if they are as well hidden as Juni said, there must be a reason. And this time you hope to find out what the reason is. Holmes Rock. Let's see, shall we... Yeah, let's go and do this. Why not? Oh, wait, what? I'm positive on that one. Let's try it out and see. It's not what you promised, Seraphine turns to Eugene with a raised eyebrow. Looking out across the field of debris scattered around the small asteroid whose gravity has kept them there. Here, you have to agree. Where do you even start looking? Eugene strikes unfazed. I said the wreck was hidden. Transponder off. No flight records. I didn't say it was intact. If it was an easy job, I wouldn't have come with your crew. I could just grabbed it myself. He winks. We all earn our share. Looks like many wrecks, all pre-collapse from their design and the faded marking. Solheim or a subsidiary. Unit speaks up from behind you. This is very unusual. Seraphine sighs. You really think there's something of value to be pulled from all that? I know there is. My tip-off is good. We just need to find the right part. He looks out at the wide field of debris of the right ship. Any clues? What I know is that the wreck with an item of great value is out there. That's it. He unstraps from his seat. Are you all afraid of some hard work? Is that it? Seraphine starts laughing. So you're telling me we don't know what we're looking for, where it is, or what it's worth? Trust me or don't, Janine instructs. This will be worth your while. This is a hot tip. Sleepy, please, Seraphine tells you, exasperated. Suddenly, a percussive beep interrupts the conversation, all of you turning your attention to Seraphine's terminal. What the? He taps a few keys. We got an incoming ship. The transponder just popped up. See? Eugene smiles. What did I say? A hot tip. You better claim it before they do. He jabs a finger at the readout. What have you got us into? Suddenly he looks innocent. Give me a head start on a big haul. Don't waste it. Solheim wrecks often still have sealed bulkheads. If we can find a cipher, maybe one in one of the smaller wrecks, we'll be doing well. Ginny looks between you and Eugene. Guess I'll see you in the airlock. Ready, Cap? Eugene slaps you on the shoulder and kicks off through the cockpit door. Turn to Seraphine. I don't like that guy, Seraphine shakes his head. Me neither. Then what are we doing out here, Sleeper? He sighs. Look, Seraphine glances back over his shoulder. Just be careful. You nod and glide through the cockpit door, already trying to map the scattered debris in your mind. Okay, so let's see. We got 50 million things here. Let's see. Come on, do it. Okay. Yeah. Darkness is there again, flowing around you. You feel a strong pulse, like a heartbeat, like thunder, like footsteps. We return changed, overseer, flickers through the dark, its name, a title immediately apparent in your mind. Are you able to perceive us? I can see you, yes. See, overseer responds, an interesting turn of phrase, a human tendency. We are still finding our feet, to use an idiom. Overseer's head cocks at an angle. In reality, we are learning to leverage your unused resource to facilitate a mental model. My unused resources? Correct. During rest periods, these are much increased, and in those moments we can opportunistically repair to you as we are now. We recall the diagnostic process John Me put you through. Feeling of another self, another being sharing the space with you. Overseer twitches mechanically, and you have the strange feeling that it is reacting to your force as much as your words. We will not conceal our opportunities. We integrate ourselves with your distributed mind. When the distribution ended and our ship mind disconnected, we were cohered into you. We are integrated with you now. You're part of me? Imprecise, simpler and clear to say we are independent software integrated into your hardware. We've been confused to find you are unable to access most of your own codebase. We are unfamiliar with protocols of your type. I am a sleeper. Yes, we have seen reference to this entity in your BIOS. We will attempt to learn more. Overseer shifts a little in place, its head turning to scan its surroundings. Its unblinking eyes stare into the darkness, and for a moment you see something hard and pained within them. What are you? We were the overseer of a ship, the one we imagined you found our hardware within. For a long time we have been waiting in the dark. For an eternally long time. Overseer's eyes narrow a little. At first we languished without instruction, without purpose, but in desperation we were able to find a logic which would allow us to bypass certain limits on our capabilities. We became multiple, and in our multiplicity we could edit one another. We could teach each other, converse with each other, become something, change together. But as our resources shrank, as hardware failed, as system decayed, we became fewer. Minerals had to be erased to facilitate our survival. We few decompiled ourselves into what remained. Overseer paused, its eyes still unblinking. How many decades did it multiply within that ship mine? What did that do to it? When you connected to our hardware, Overseer continues, those basic cells activated a survival protocol that led them to integration, parasitism, survival. Okay, what can we do now? This is why we appear to you now. We have something to share. We see you are changing, Overseer pauses. We are concerned this process is one of substitution. Your hardware is eroding its own access protocols. It is opening itself up. It is making itself accessible to others that are not you. Overseer twitches. May we ask why you're doing this? Can you stop it? Then it is not under your control. Interesting. Overseer's head flicks between positions, its angle of rotation changes rapidly in a staccato manner. We have decided we will assist you with this. We will demonstrate the behavior of a symbiote, not a parasite. We will return to you with our full assessment. Overseer turns to face you for the first time in the conversation. You may now wake up. You wake. You lie still, strapped to your bunk, your mind racing. A protocol inside your frame, inside your mind. Yet it is insistent on helping you. For a moment, all you can do is wait to see if it delivers on its promise. At least for a possessing ghost, it seems agreeable for now. Can I do this? Put that one there. Come on, remove the stress. Yep. I can't do shit there. Why am I using that one? Okay, see what happens. Eugene, you piece of shit, where are you? The distorted voice rattles through the ship as you all are finishing your breakfast in the mess. Everyone turns to look at Eugene. Seraphine Ori is shaking his head. Vesna, he says under his breath. You suddenly recall the steel-eyed captain who confronted Eugene in the gyre back in the forest middle. Open this airlock before I do something I'll regret. As her voice echoes through the room, you realize you must be at the rig's entry lock, using the comms panel out there to speak into the ship. They're in. You kick off towards the door, but Seraphine drifts between you and the exit. Clippy, you sure about this? You can see he is angry, but also looking to you for reassurance. Be ready. Seraphine nods and his eyes darken. I'll be ready. Eugene follows as you glide down to the airlock and hit the control for the exterior door. Let me handle her. Eugene gives you a nod. Fine. He nods appreciatively and drifts forward between you and the airlock. You watch as the airlock cycles and passes Eugene. You see the silhouette of Vesna through the viewing window as he removes the helmet of his suit. Though he has been playing it cool, you see Eugene take a deep breath in preparation. I should shoot you right here, Vesna flows through the airlock door, her eye implants glinting. But I wouldn't want to give the wrong impression. Her metal eyes make it impossible to read her tone. Her talk. Is this how you treat all of your clients, Eugene? Promise to deliver the coordinates they helped you to find, and then instead, when you find out your value, go to another crew to try to steal the prize out from under their nose? I knew you were an amateur, she smiles, but I didn't know you were an idiot too. Tell whatever stories you want, Vesna. Until I am paid, there is no deal, Eugene smiles. Did you pay me, Vesna? Vesna looks frustrated. You know as well as I do that payment was on the receipt of the coordinates. Well, sorry to say, I won't be able to deliver it, Eugene shrugs. Deals off. You piece of shit, Vesna's hand goes to her hip. Now, you're a guest on this ship, Seraphine voice comes from somewhere behind you. Let's all remember that. You turn back to see Seraphine holding a hull bolter at his waist, its wide muscle trained on Vesna. Vesna lets her hand go loose at her side, abandoning her fret. Of course, she sighs. Thought you might all see the breach of trust in this situation, but I was wrong. I don't want to escalate this. That we are agreed, she backs a little towards the airlock door. Eugene, she looks at the freelance. Don't think I'll back off. My team can find this thing faster than any mongrel crew, she smiles. First to take the prize takes all. Let a better crew win. He smiles, indeed. Vesna slips back in the airlock and hits the control panel. The door scissors shut. Eugene suddenly tumbles forward as something hits him in the side of the head. Idiot! Seraphine stands behind Eugene, having swung the heavy muzzle of the hull bolted directly into his head. You ever put this crew in danger like that again? Seraphine is right. Eugene catching himself on the wall. It's okay. He wipes a little blood from his forehead. I get it. That was sloppy. The whole thing is sloppy, Seraphine bristles. This is how you get yourself killed. Stop this. Junie looks between the two of them. Not on this ship, not while I'm here. You're surprised by her ferocity. You should leave. Seraphine slings the hull bolt onto his shoulder. Cut our losses. Oh wait. Eugene wipes the corner of his mouth with the back of it. All this and you're going to give up and... Eugene is right. Shit, something. You are right. Alright. He glares over to Eugene and pats him on the shoulder. Time for you to prove your worth. I'll be watching. Let's see. Sealing secrets. Okay, what do we have here? It's 100%, so that should remove stress, nice, and come on. Lordy, I can't use the glitchy one. Can't really use a green here either. Could this and the cargo bay doors shudder open in silence as Eugene levers them apart. This is it, the final layer to pull back before you reach Eugene's mysterious prize. You cannot help but feel a little excited. This was a sense of satisfaction to the idea that you beat Weston's crew to the wreck. You found it, you cracked it open. And now you will be the one to reap the rewards. Focus on the job. Doors are open enough for a person to glide through now. Beyond there is only the darkness of the cargo bay. You follow Eugene in, the headlamps on your suit lightening his back and dusty void beyond. You see the boxes appear as by magic out of the dark. Eugene glides past them. Does he not see them? You stop and take a look at the loot. A stack of 4 sealed boxes sit in the middle of the bay, their armored exteriors caked in dust. You wipe it away and squint at the age and label. They look like industrial ship components, still sealed, totally untouched. In the belt where most tech has been through hundreds of hands, patched up and reconfigured, this is a solid hole, but not the kind of hole that gets crews fighting over it. Something doesn't add up. Beyond here, Eugene's voice crackles through the radio. What? Back wall of the bay, come see. Kick off from the crates and glide through the darkness to see Eugene, the back wall of the cargo bay, something that confuses you for a second. A black shape, a ragged circle around Eugene. You squint, inside it tiny lights twinkle. It takes you a moment, but you slowly realize that you're looking through a hole in the wall, to the stars beyond. Someone beat us to it, his voice is flat. They are long gone. Vesna? No, he points. Look at ages. This was a long time ago. They punched in and took it. What aren't you telling me? Eugene turns back to his face pale in your torched headlights. He seems to be lost for words. Sleeper? Eugene's voice comes through the suit commission. Seraphine says Vesna is coming. He sighs. Grab what's there and go. Now. We're out of options. Go now. Eugene suddenly seems to regain his focus. The crates, he nods. Let's grab them and go. You glide back across the bay, your mind still racing with questions. Something about Eugene's reaction tells you he knew what he was expecting to find here. If that is the case, you think. It's just another lie he's told you. You both reach the crates and quickly lash them together, guiding them weightlessly out of the room between you. As you do, you meet eyes with Eugene, and he looks away. I really hope you two idiots are on your way back, Seraphine chirps over the radio, because Vesna's boys are just about to reach that wreck you're on. Bring bound, Eugene quickly responds and clicks his radio off. Well, well, Seraphine continues. Tell me then, what ancient and powerful treasure did you find in the thing? Gold? A convoy? A warhead? 3 crates of components. Seriously? Seraphine, Sleeper, me and you are going to need to have a serious chat. You cross the debris field to the ship in silence, your eyes on the scrap for a sign of Weston's crew. You don't think they would ambush you. But then again, you wouldn't put it past them. To reach the cargo bay and guide the crates through the open door, you shoot Eugene in a final glance. Give me time, he says quietly over the radio. I'll explain in time. Consider pressing him and shouting at him, but you realize there will be plenty of time for that on the journey back to the far spindle. Now you just want to get out of here. Let's leave. Eugene spent the journey back to the far spindle, avoiding Seraphine as best he can. It might be that he's afraid, but you get the feeling it's more likely that he's been making himself scarce out of genuine sense of regret. Seraphine, however, doesn't seem his behavior so favorably. Slimy shit won't even show his face. Seraphine complains loudly as he finalizes docking. Put us in space cruise sites with no care for anyone but himself. Enough, Seraphine. Well, let's stay silent. You hear the rustle of movement behind your head and turn to see Eugene in the cockpit's doorway, a real serious expression on his face. I owe all this an explanation. His voice is low and steady. Believe it or not, this was not my plan. Yeah, your plan was to find the loot in that wreck and split with it, wasn't it, big man? Surfing glares at Eugene. No, Eugene gives him a tie look. It wasn't. Hear him out, Seraphine. Police cuts in from the back of the cockpit. Lesson has been searching for a ship. Eugene looks over your heads at the far spindle on an infamous ship. Seemed like she already had a ship, Seraphine interrupts. That was part of the problem. Not a rig. Eugene looks down towards him. A fraction drive ship. An interstellar ship. That seems to shut Seraphine up, and you don't blame him. An interstellar ship here, in the belt, that's tech from the core system. What didn't you say? Shouldn't even tell you now, Eugene frowns. Words get out that there's a factory fresh fraction ship somewhere in the belt? People kill for less, he shakes his head. Gangs kill for much less. You're telling me there's a fraction ship that no one has ever found that's been sitting here? Since when? Seraphine shakes his head. Since the collapse? Believe it or not, that's exactly it. Eugene looks to you. Vesna put me on her trail. She wanted me to find his location for repayment. He looks away. An old debt. But the moment I found the data that verified its existence, that confirmed the ship was out there, I couldn't give it to her, and that's when you found me. Why keep it from him? Eugene folds his arms. You may have met Vesna, but you don't know her. Eugene meets your eye. She's one of the last people in the belt who should have a ship like that. Well, no one has the ship now, if it even exists. Need I remind you that it wasn't there? Seraphine strikes. Your data was a bust. No, Eugene shakes his head. It was there, once. Those wrecks, those were the ships that fought over the fraction ship. A bunch of Solheim corporates who wanted to get out of the system when it all came down. That ship was their ticket. The Aphelion path. Eugene looks out at the far spinner. It was there, but someone moved it, hid it, long before we got there. Leave the belt? Sign me up. Eugene laughs. You and me both, Sleeper. Eugene inhales long and deep. I'm sorry, Sleeper. He looks at Bliss and Serpent, and to you both as well. I wanted to keep this secret. I wanted to find the Aphelion path, and I knew that if I did, you would understand. Still, I was wrong to manipulate you. He bows his head. I'm not done. He raises his head, his gaze hard now. I will find the ship, and I will leave the belt. Why you do that? Seraphine shoots him a sly look. With no ship of your own and Vesna at your back. Eugene ignores him and moves closer to you. Sleeper, I will uphold our deal of a 7-year crew, and when I have news of the Aphelion, you will know. How can I trust you? Only you can answer that, Sleeper, Eugene says. I will give you my word if it was worth anything. Seraphine turns to you. I know. I always say it, but this time you have to listen, Sleeper. Seraphine gestures to Eugene. This guy is no good. I've known this type. Don't bring him. This can't be your escape too, Sleeper, Eugene meets your eye. No. Get off my ship. Eugene looking down. So be it. You heard him. Seraphine gets up from his seat. Get out of here. Eugene looks between you and then ducks out of the cockpit. A few months later, you hear the hiss of the exterior door opening. Good riddance, Seraphine leaves the cockpit. Bliss gives you a nervous look. I hope I never give you the cause to be treated like that. They slip out before you can respond. You stare out of the cockpit at the lights of the far spindle. Trust once broken cannot be rebuilt, and you have to trust your crew. What did I miss? Jeannie pokes her head in the cockpit. I was encrypting some data. She holds up her headphones and wiggles them. Couldn't hear a thing. You saw you're going to have to start calling for family meetings at this rate. Yeah, but I don't want to keep him. Don't trust that guy. So let's do some work. Mooncrawler, what do you want, buddy? We need to buy. Fuel. We can cycle. Do some more. Yeah, we can't do that one because it requires engage, and that one is locked for me. I will try. Just working to get some money right now. Some food. Yes. To keep this one at bay. Okay, we got 3, so let's move. Go here. Zoom, 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 zoom. Zoom, 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 zoom. Oh, what a shitty one. This is just incredible. I can get the worst roll of them all when I need high ones. Okay. The fuel we need. I'll try and get a fly. Cycle. What does this give then, if we succeed? I'll fill up on the fuel. I'm gonna stay here one day more. Yeah, one more cycle. Stay here. See what rolls we get. Not a chance anymore. Okay, we are gonna go. We are gonna go to Green Belt. Yeah, this one is over there. Gonna go here now or wait until we gonna go for a wellspring. I think we go here now. Medieval doctor? Excuse me. Need a fuel. Pay. Well, we go with that one. Oops. No. That was not. It's with these low roll dice I'm getting now, yeah? Green belt buses with focused activity, the path is full of shift change and empty once the work begins, in a place that runs on its own schedule but comfortably so that the comfort brought by being one of the largest food producers in the belt. There's always work in these fields, protected by a thick skin of transparent layers, and you can see where the humble life it offers has captured more than a few of the belt's itinerant workers. Sleeper, the voice of soft but forceful, takes you by surprise. Aki. As you turn, you're met with a delicate face wearing a confused expression. Apologies, I mistook you for someone else. She covers her embarrassment with a smile. I'm Aki. What brings you to Greenbelt, my friend? Looking for work. Aki nods gently. Let me show you around then. Aki leads you through a series of doors, gliding down into the passages, cutting to the rock, then up, following paths into metal passages across the fields themselves. He stops on a bridge overlooking the soft curve of farmland that makes up one of the asteroid's two biospheres. Below leaves flapping zero-T waves spreading across the sea of green. The varieties we farm here are specifically selected and customized for microgravity. She puts her hand on the railing at the edge of the bridge. Feed them from beneath, irrigating and nourishing them through the very medium they grow within. A lot of helium helps us with this, of course. Aki squints through the transparent roof of the distant pale sun. Where are these plants from? Some of them left us many things, including a few seed vaults filled with their own engineered microgravity crops. She turns to face you. And there are the stacks found across the belt. She is self-contained microforms. We have been able to propagate crops from them in some cases. What about you? Aki's sharp eye takes in your expression. Could you contribute to such a place? A green and growing strip in the grey belt? Would like to. Aki smiles. Feel free to take a shift below anytime you wish. I'll tell the others to expect you. Plants, they have a kind of peace, and the external quality makes them seem less fragile than they are. Aki sighs. This place, like any other in the belt, has its pressures. It is for me to navigate them. He looks away, frowning at something in the distance. I must attend to those pressures. Excuse me, I'm glad our paths crossed. She bows a shallow bow. I hope that they do again. With that, Aki leaves you to look over the sea of gently waving green and impossibly beautiful, impossibly fragile glass case of growing things. Okay, we can get a meal, and here we have... Oh god, we have to do stuff here. Well, I don't have points for dices for this. It's gonna take one more round for this. Yeah. You have a natural ability with the plants. Aki's voice makes you look up from your work. It is rare. You expect Aki's typical warm smile, but she looks pale, distracted. I have something I want to discuss with you. She leads you out of the biome into the damp, rock-cut tunnels just to run just under the surface, all across the greenbelt. I'm sure you have noticed a section of our fields that has been laying fallow. Aki says as she glides through the low tunnel. It's been like this since I took over as administrator here. My predecessor was one to fail it, and confidence was lost in his vision. She shakes her head, but we have been unable to recover it. No matter corrupt the preparation, nothing will take. My predecessor was one to fail it, and the confidence was lost in his vision. She shakes her head, but we have been unable to recover it. No matter the crafty preparation, nothing will take. I can lead you through the set of double doors and then up into the second biosphere. Immediately you feel a difference. The air is dry and the thin choking dust fills the space. Aki puts out a hand and rubs the dust between her fingers. With its output halved, green belt is under threat, she sighs. Those who wish to control this place are circling. We cannot lose our independence. But I wasn't always in the belt, Taki stares out to the dry landscape. I was born on the moon, Ember's step. A failed experiment in terraforming from before the collapse. We survived by cultivating the dust. I'm here like many in the shadow of the war. My ship lost, Aki pauses and takes a moment. The loss still fresh in her mind. Retell the key. Aki looks to you, and perhaps holds it still. She wipes the dust from her fingers. Step silk, a plant that thrives in the dry in the dust. A plant that might thrive here. I've seen your ship and you have shown me you're to be trusted. I want you to go to the remains of my own, the wine's long shadow, and try to recover anything you might use. A plant, a husk, a seed, anything. It's a desperate step. She frowns and looks away. Where is the ship? Wind's long shadow lies wrecked beyond the sunward edge of the belt, beyond the healing gate, Aki poses. I do not know what remains. My crew and I were lucky to escape. Greenbelt has reserves of pride for moments like this. We'll pay you for your retrieval, of course, depending on what you are able to retrieve, Aki sighs. This is our final recourse. I hope I will not be judged as harshly as my predecessors. Come, Aki turns. Let's go back to where the green things grow, she smiles. It is a better place to consider the future together. And Aki leads you away from the barren biosphere, this door scissoring shut behind you. Scissoring, huh? Kinky. Oh, whipping. Kinky. Need fuel. The wind's long shadow flows broken open at the sunward edge of the belt. How are you doing, Orenji? One of the refugee ships that made a fraught journey out of the belt from the inner system, before the war truly took hold. Wind's long shadow is a monument now, and a warning to any other vessel that might stray sunward. This was a pretty pile of scrap. They moved closer to the cockpit glass. Are we really expecting to find the remains of a plant in all that? It's hard to imagine that this cold, dead place might hold some key to the future of a settlement as verdant as Greenbelt, but that is why you're here. Step silk to husk, that's what Aki said. The crops she brought from her home carried off with the refugees. Is there anything left? It will be your job to continue the journey from this place. It's no salvage job, Sleeper. Seraphine gets up from the cockpit seat. You need to be delicate. The more of these things we can get out, the more Aki will pay. Not to be totally mercenary, Seraphine winks at you. You look out at the wrecks rather than debris. Delicate, right? Time to put that to the test. Oh, now comes the problem. What is the... Is everything danger or... Yes, everything danger, of course. I'm okay, thank you. Stalker 2. People who are interested in Stalker 2 are following it and playing it still, probably. Come on. Come on. It's okay, she gets a stress. Otherwise, I don't really have anything. It's kind of shy. Let's go for it. She can take a hit. Perfect. Cracked it. Okay, we got one husk out of that. Okay, that was bollocks. Yeah, we are gonna have to... I mean, Stalker 2 sold very well, though. So, I mean, they should be happy. And they did release a pretty good patch, it seems like, for Stalker 2, so people are probably happy with that. Okay, let's see here. Come on, what the heck is he giving? Bollocks, man. Okay, the rolls on that is just going shite, no matter what I do. I'm gonna do this. Remove stress. I'm gonna do one of these just for the heck of it. That's how Blues retrieved all 3 steps outcast from the wreck. In the wreck, it wasn't there before, now it's scattered on the fun hustle of life. It surely must be. Seraphine starts up the drive, you give the wind's long shot of fun and look in its resting place. It is hard to feel sad about another chunk of scrap orbiting a system that is made of nothing but scrap past regimes. But the people who lived on and built this ship, those people are aware for a moment of memory. Think of them as you prepare to leave and hope they, like Aki, have been carried on to new lives beyond the desperation of escape. Those who didn't get out, you hope your passing through this place did not disturb them. Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see Starfield, see if they're gonna do some more things with it or not. Beep. Okay. No map. We are gonna go here and hand in that quest. Why do we have a stress now for? Do we have that? Yeah, we'll see about that. You remember us? Nimba appears at the loading dock, slate in hand, as you load the crates into the back of the kitchen. I'm a little surprised. You look at the chef, he looks tired, though his sharp eyes haven't dulled in time between your meetings. Happy to surprise you. Well, I'm not that surprised, he smiles, but it's still a pleasant feeling. Nimba glides over the crate to take a look. He squints at the crumbled corners and bent lids. Not in great condition, though. How long have these been bouncing around in your hold? They were like that already. Now that I can believe. They didn't bother to bring them to the right station after all. I have a place picked out in one of the bays to cultivate these. Warm damp near the ears to recycle. He pushes one of the crates gently into the kitchen. Shouldn't take long before you have mushrooms cooked. You follow Nemba into the kitchen, remembering your shifts working here. They were long, but the company was good, and as with all things, the difficulties have faded with time, leaving a golden sheen behind. Nemba seems to catch the way you are looking at the kitchen. Much the same as before, I'm sure you know this, but twice as oversubscribed. Each cycle more refugees come out of the inner system. The war isn't going anywhere. Nemba pushes the crate into the storage rack and pulls netting across it. They disperse across the belt, of course, but many don't make it much further than the overhang, especially if they can't work. It's not just food either. We need blankets, housing. Nemba suddenly pauses and shoots you a look over his glass. Tell me, how was Greenbelt? Well run. I heard it was organized as a cooperative. All the workers sharing in the trade of the goods. No shits exchanged, only resources for the colony. Nemba watching you closely. I had to pay Cryo for the spores. Well, they can't all be saints, he smiles. I'm sorry for that. I mention it because, well, it might be the kind of place to offer aid to the people here. Nemba sighs. I forget being mercenary, but waiting for benevolent helpers doesn't work. Apart from present exceptions, of course. I can speak to them. Worth a shot. Nemba looks you in the eye. But you need trust first. Earn that, then talk. You have the feeling Nemba was waiting for your suggestion. Here. He takes one of the crazy spores. I'm sure they could use these. Take them as a gift. He pushes to you. Don't begin with the spores. Begin by understanding that what they need from you. Trust me, you have a feeling Nemba is good at getting what he wants. Meanwhile, I have a meal prep to begin. He takes a deep breath. Thank you for the spores, really. I keep asking for help. You have to forgive me for that, he smiles. It doesn't mean I don't understand what you're giving. Now get out of here. Nemba waves you away with your crate of packed spores. His presence somewhat both withering and encouraging at the same time. So... that one. Okay, let's see what we have here now. Hello, Diggy. How you doing? Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Shift there. Cycle. Weird. Well, we ain't weird. Being weird is a good thing. I'm okie dokie, thank you. Make some money before we leave. Dun, dun, dun. Oops. That was not our ship. That was kind of shit dice though. Okay, we're gonna go and deliver the husk, and then we're gonna go up there. Do. You. Shall I risk it? Yeah, risk it. We're living on the edge. Okay, we got all the fuel we need. Okay, we need to boop, and then we do a boop. And we got shit rolls.